FTR match. I saw
accusations.
These are not accusations. This is
false accusations.
And
oh yeah, man. Yeah. Oh man, 2 weeks in a row. We told you we back. We told you back. We're not playing with y'all, man. And the world of wrestling. Wow. Topsy-turvy kind of a week for wrestling, but we are going to do our best and we're going to do our due diligence to celebrate, pay homage, update, create, and converse. Because conversate, I don't think is still a word, even though I think they finally added it to the dictionary, I think. But it don't matter. What does matter is that you are now tuned in to the greatest wrestling podcast in the world. You know what I'm saying? The place where you can talk about it unconventionally. And that place is the First Black Champ Podcast. I am still the pick. That's correct. Your podcast, Intercontinental Champion, Camp from the Port.
And I am JR Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download to the Barbershed Network, home of the greatest wrestling podcast there is, First Black Champ. Make sure you follow us on everything at dfbc.pod. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, whatever that's out there. We out here. Follow us on there. Make sure you click the link in the bio and get that merch. And man, we got a good show prepared, but we're gonna get this started with.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Real quick, because you know I've been off the grid social medially the whole year.
Okay.
Threads. Do I need to be there?
Kinda. It's starting to pick up.
Okay.
Threads is starting to pick up.
So
as far as engagement wise, I can tell you this.
Okay.
Threads don't have the filth that Twitter has. Let me just first say that. It does not have the filth that Twitter has. Like, you can't go on at 7 o'clock and see quality programming.
Got you. Okay.
They try, but you know, but it's scantily clad, not filth.
You know, okay. We can do a little Heavenly Bodies action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. Threads is Heavenly Bodies. And Twitter is
Skybox or Arnie's?
Arnie's.
Yeah,
Skybox is Arnie's. Club O is Club O.
Club O. Rest in peace, Club O.
No, it'd be Arnie's. Yeah. Twitter's Arnie's. and yeah, Threads is Heavenly Bodies. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
That is a great. First of all, that's just, especially if you're from the Chicagoland area, that is a great way of comparing social media.
Yeah.
Content on social media, Arnie's and Heavenly Bodies.
Hey, I'm with it. See, perfect. That was perfect. Because I have been seeing more people since I've logged on. I think 3 times last week and circling into today. A lot of people have been on Threads, and I was like, "Oh wow, has business picked up? Should I be on here? Is this one of the new platforms where one organic engagement exists, but I don't think that's a thing anymore?"
It does. It actually does, and it's less stressful.
Okay.
It is a less for now. It is a less stressful social media platform. I sometimes get in, get out since it's meta. You can post from Facebook to Threads and Instagram, from Instagram so you can still get your joints off on those and all of that. Yeah, so it's less stressful and all of that stuff. Convenient, get in, get out. Just Heavenly Bodies type of content and not
Arnie's.
Arnie's.
All right, man. All right. I might make an executive decision around October. So So we'll see. Maybe earlier. You know, I got some things worth posting about here in a little bit, just lightly, mildly.
Yeah.
You know,
You know what I'm saying? So when it's time to drop the content, when it's time to make the announcements, do the test. Do the test. See what happens.
Good. For sure.
So yeah, man. So first black champ. Before we get into Bash in Berlin, which happened yesterday, and a little bit of All In in Wembley that happened, because definitely a major moment with Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, excuse me, becoming the AEW champion and basically saying, "I'll retire when I lose this belt." Want to get into some passings that happened, and honestly, since we do float from hip hop and wrestling on the rest, and we love the culture, of course, can't start the show without paying respects to Fat Man Scoop, the legendary personality, hype man, all things hip hop. You've heard his voice on Missy's, Lose Control, on Mariah Is Like That. Hell, if you go listen to any radio station or go to any club and they play Love Like This for Faith Evans, don't play the regular version. They only play the Fat Man Scoop. You got a $100 bill, get your hands up.
Yeah.
Can't hear you. Single ladies, like that's the version of Faith Evans' Love Like This we know.
Yeah.
But want to pay the respects to Fat Man Scoop. That's the way, unfortunately. 52, 53 years old. And shouts out to our man Mike Jones, because considering where we are at in life, I think he said something that was real. Like, as we get older, it feels like growing older. It's scary.
Yeah.
And especially when we see some of the people that we follow in hip hop, like going back to B King. B King was only 39, and he, in his weird saying, he didn't die from getting shot, stabbed, beat up, jumped, none of that.
Right.
He died from a blood clot.
Yeah.
And then we don't know specifically how Fat Man Scoop passed away, but he was performing, passed out. They had to perform CPR on the stage. They got him to the hospital. So yeah, thoughts on the passing of Fat Man Scoop?
Yeah, man. Fat Man Scoop. One of the, I mean, again, as we talk about hip hop and we really dissect everything that's not the rapper, right? Because the rapper has gotten popularized and commercialized. When we talk about DJs, we talk about hype men. Man, Fat Man Scoop is in that top 5, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like there's very few voices in my world that carry so much weight, even if you only attach them to a few things. I have Flavor Flav on that list. I have Greg Nice on that list. And I have Fat Man Scoop on that list. Shoot, hey, Bang already alluded to it. During my days of being in my 20s, man, Fat Man Scoop asked some of the most important questions in the club around 11:30, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, for all the single ladies chilling in the back who want to have sex with no strings attached, can I get a whoop whoop or what? You know what I'm saying? But nothing more important to me at 23. I'm in the club. When I was outside, I was one of the I think I was a top tier outside again. You know what I'm saying?
Said that shit like you said before. You said that shit like you was a backyard again. Like
yeah, you know,
I was outside again. Backyard.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was outside again. Even though, you know what, real quick, somebody, I think it was on TikTok, some kids said that the backyardigans are actually all in jail. And that it's like a simulation of them being in jail. And them being outside is them freeing their mind from the 23-1 they have to do.
What the?
Yeah, hey, I don't know how my algorithm shows that, but hey, at least I feel like I'm learning new conspiracy theories for young people. But back to Fat Man Scoop, right? The most important question when I was outside willing to slander and philander was who fucking tonight?
Yeah.
And Fat Man Scoop asked that 3 times. I think maybe even 4. I could be who fucking tonight? Who fucking tonight? Who fucking tonight? Yeah, it was 4 times.
Yeah.
Who fucking? Okay, yeah, it's definitely 4 times, 4 bars. And I remember just, hey, when we looking around, hey, who filling the bar like me? Oh God. Hey, you know. So you know, that's how you kind of mosey your way over. You know what I'm saying? If the mood and the vibe is correct. But most importantly of that, man, you know, as I listen to a lot of rap music today, like today's rap music, and the significance of one, lack of messaging, or the type of messaging that's just inflammatory. What I am hurt most of by Fat Man Scoop's passing is that, man, now we losing the party people.
Yeah.
Just like Beat King and Fat Man Scoop, we are losing the party people in hip hop. And that is scary. It's disappointing. It's upsetting. It's a lot of things. It's like, man, if we really about right hip hop, right? You know, it turned 50 last year. It's 51 this year. Where are the new party people? Where are the new party guys? Where are the guys that are igniting happy, fun-loving, energetic, positive energy, and casual sex? Like, where are those people at? Because we are losing the pillars of that space. Biz Markie is gone. Fat Man Scoop is gone. Beat King is gone. Like, man, and that's what I personally will remember about Fat Man Scoop. Just like, yo, the energy, like the party is starting. If a Fat Man Scoop record is on, if you ever watched him DJ, I don't think I've ever got a chance to actually be in a spot where he was DJing, but he is just one of the hip hop party gods, if you will. So extremely disappointing to hear. Man, condolences to his friends and real family, and long live the Fat Man Scoop, man. A great contributor to hip hop culture in every way.
Yes, he was. And then also shouts out to our big homie Jonathan Hood. If we didn't mention this, he would scold us. And I'm not in the mood to be scolded by anybody. But shouts out to Sonny King. Sonny King, real name Larry Johnson, passed away yesterday. His real name is Larry Johnson. And this is how he made history, man. He's a black champ. He teamed with Chief Jay Strongbow to win the Worldwide Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship. They eventually lost that joint to Professor Tanaka and Mr. Fuji. Also, he feuded with one of our favorites, father, Greg Valentine's father, Johnny Valentine. He also feuded with Jerry Lawler for the NWA Southern Championship. So yeah, we don't want no Hood to jump on us, but we got to pay our respects and salute Sonny King.
Yes.
But the passing that, not gonna lie, messed me up, Kent. Was the passing of one of the first monster heels that I was legit scared of. Like, this white dude crazy.
Yeah.
But he also gave me a move, or helped introduce me to a move that I would do on every child in my family. He gave me the power bomb. Sycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Sid Eudy, passed away at the age of 63. His son Gunnar announced that he had passed away from cancer. I'll start by saying that Sid gave me the scariest moment in wrestling in my young life when Sid powerbombed Brian Pillman on his head, basically, in War Games 1991. Mm-hmm. It was the first pay-per-view that I got my parents to order me. Mm. And I remember that pay-per-view vividly. And before that, though, I remember him as a member of the Skyscrapers. Him and Dan Spivey, dangerous Dan Spivey. Mm-hmm. And when the short time they had feuded with the Road Warriors, I was like, yeah, it's lit. To me, the Skyscrapers, along with the Steiner brothers, was the first tag teams that I saw that could legit stand up to the Road Warriors. Mm. That was the first that I got, like the first view that I got of Sid Vicious. What was your first, when was your first view of Sid Vicious, and what did you think about him when you first saw him?
Man, I want to say my first recollection or just first memory of Sid was everything him and Brian Pillman. And I'm not saying that to bite your style here. I'm legit saying that because primarily I was a WWF guy or kid. I should say I was a child back then. And one thing that I'll say, I happened to catch it randomly. I'm just scrolling through the channels, and then all of a sudden, see this really big gentleman with these curly locks, and he is annihilating. Annihilating. I think Brian Pillman, I think Z-Man got a little bit, Tom Zink, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I don't know what this is or who this is, but this dude crazy. He crazy. And then I want to say, and I don't know the opponents, and I am sorry, but I also want to say outside of that, matter of fact, the match might have been Sid Vicious and Barry Windham versus Z-Man and Flying Brian. That might have been the first time I saw him. And it might have been like WCW Saturday, the Saturday afternoon joint, not
WCW Saturday night, like WCW Worldwide.
Yeah, something like that, man. And yeah, I won't cap. I was hooked. I was like, yo, I gotta see what this is about. I was like, because they kicking ass. I've never seen anything like this before. So from there, that is why I began to just watch WCW consistently. Why I am a fan of that version of the Four Horsemen, because then a vignette was cut or a segment was cut later. I see Ric Flair, I see R. Anderson with these two guys. And I'm like, yo, don't know this. And me, in my mind, I'm like, yo, man, I wonder if he could wrestle the Ultimate Warrior. Like, I'm thinking like that. And so I am much like you, but in a different setting. I'm like, yo, like he's killing everybody out here with his bare hands. Like, this is incredible. This is phenomenal. And he is a big reason to why I just kept I'm on the TV Guide channel, and now I know to watch this some more.
Yeah. Let me say this to all of the older people that may see this on social media or may listen to the show. I don't know the Four Horsemen exist as a kid before Ric Flair, Barry Windham, Sid Vicious, Arn Anderson. as a kid, that is my first introduction into the Four Horsemen. Once I'm older and I realized that there's a Ole Anderson and the dude Tully that was a brain buster was a member of the Four Horsemen, I'm like, okay, let me do my Googles. Even Lex Luger and Sting.
Yeah.
But the Four Horsemen that I'm introduced to is those four. And it's War Games.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that was scary to me because I was like, yo, is Brian Pillman dead? And Elegante comes in and is like, yo, this is over with, fam. This is a wrap. Yeah. And then I think it was a Clash of the Champions where it was Sid Vicious and Barry Windham versus Elegante and Brian Pillman. It was the loser leaves WCW match. Mm-hmm. Whoever gets pinned is out, and Brian Pillman leaves. I know that they put him in a match with Sting, Sid Vicious with Sting, at Halloween Havoc for the title. Mm-hmm. I always wondered why he wasn't the champion during that time in WCW.
Yeah.
I would see WCW in spots. So, again, when I see the skyscrapers, I'm seeing it in spots. Mm-hmm. When I'm seeing him as a singles, I'm seeing him in spots. But maybe about late 90 to early 1991, because I believe that pay-per-view was in February. Mm-hmm. That's when I really started watching WCW heavy. And the person outside of Sting and Flair that I'm gravitating to is Sid Vicious. Mm-hmm. It was just something about his character. Now, let's fast forward this to what feels like a couple of months later. He's in WWF as Sid Justice.
Yeah.
What was your first thoughts of Sid Justice? Sid Vicious in the WWF.
Hey, that's Sid Vicious. That's the first thought.
Fuck, he got Justice by his name. Was
right.
It Cop?
And then I was like, no joke. Yo, how come he's not hurting people?
Now he was doing the helicopter power bomb.
Yeah.
And like he just
but look, now as I get older, I totally understand the beef that a lot of adults had with Vince McMahon at the WWF. I understand it after I saw Sid Vicious in WCW, and then I see Sid Justice. Because the deal is this. I was made in the 1980s, so I'm a child.
That's a good plug right there. That was a good ass plug right there.
You know what I'm saying? So WCW looked real as hell to me. Like WCW looked real in the mouth.
To everybody in the hood, let me just say this. To everybody in the hood, WWF was good. Don't get me wrong. Y'all like Hogan. I was never a Hogan fan. I was Macho Man, but WWF is the good wrestling, but we thought WCW was real shit.
Yeah.
Like you will turn to WCW and somebody's bleeding like a pig.
Yeah.
Or getting destroyed. So I'm with you. Like WCW in a lot of kids' eyes was the UFC before the UFC.
Yeah, yo, that is a fact. That is a fact. Just from the angles, the cameras, like the fact that when street fights came, they came in actual street clothes. Like I was like, oh, he really dressed like the dudes over here at Messing and Becker. Like, which is a store in Freeport. Like I was like, yo, I feel like I seen him walking out of Newell. This dude crazy.
I'm like, yo, they wrestling, they fight marks dressed like dudes from like they got on wife beaters, long wife beaters, jeans, and cowboy boots with tape on their fists.
Yeah.
Somebody's bleeding.
Exactly.
I like WCW. I like this shit.
Right. Like, dog, like, look, you work at Structo, like you was at Micro Switch, like you just left the bar, like, yo, fam. So when Sid Justice showed up, I was like, Now, don't get me wrong. At the same time, I am like, oh man, hey, yo, like, dog, like this dude is nuts. I was like, yo, he about to really hurt somebody. And then when they was trying to do the whole face thing and he was teaming up with Hogan, now I will say that's where my changing of the guard was like, I don't know. I don't know. Should he be friends with Hulk Hogan? It kind of feels like they not of the same ilk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this cloth ain't the same. I get it. They got blonde hair. Now he got more blonde hair than Hulk Hogan. They're the same size or whatever, pause. But something about this just does not do it for me. Which now I want to segue into when I knew Sid Vicious was on the way in WWF. Saturday night's main event. Hogan and Sid Vicious tag. He reach out and then he jump off the apron. And I was like, okay, but see, it's still not violent enough. I'm like, man, why they got him? Why is he holding back? And then one of the greatest Saturday night's main event segments ever happened unexpectedly. Bang, as he's walking, some lady reaches out to touch Sid, and he said, "Don't touch me, you little wench, or I'll slap your face." And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I was like, now we about to get into who I saw. I'm like, now we gonna see who I saw. And man, I tell you, from that moment on, even though it was a slow build, and I totally get it, but from that moment there, I was like, yeah, still a fan of Sid. Will never not be a fan of Sid. And it just gets better and better as the years go on.
So I hated Sid Justice when he came in. When I first saw him on Superstars, I was like, why is he a good guy?
Yep.
Why is the fans, did they not see him in WCW? Like, he was beating the shit out of Sting. He's beating the shit out of Flying Brian. Like, why are we cheering him? No, we're not doing this. But I have two moments. Now, we know on this show, I believe that the greatest Royal Rumble of all time is Royal Rumble 1992. If I did not hate Hulk Hogan then, I wanted to beat Hulk Hogan's ass when he pulled Sid Justice out of that ring. Boy,
yeah, man.
Boy, I was like, why do y'all like Hulk Hogan? He just pulled out Sid. Sid was supposed to powerbomb Ric Flair, be the champ. What are we doing? Hulk Hogan, you got put out by Sid. That's on you, fam.
Right.
I wanted Sid to beat the shit out of Hulk Hogan right then and there, even though I did not mind that Ric Flair was the champ. I was like, Sid supposed to be the champ. Fuck you, Hogan. But before that, the Jack Sunny press conference to see who will wrestle. Well, after that, who will wrestle Hulk Hogan, or excuse me, Ric Flair at WrestleMania? Who's going to wrestle Ric Flair at WrestleMania? It was Macho Man, Roddy Piper, Hogan, and Sid Justice. I might be missing one more wrestler.
I think it's
Undertaker.
Yeah, yes. The boy's a Taker. Yep.
And
he was hey, shout out to Undertaker, because he didn't sell in that moment either. He was just like,
I think he had the bird with him, just the vulture just.
Even the bird didn't move. I was like, yo, that's fire.
If I could talk to the Undertaker, I would ask the Undertaker how hard it took him not to laugh during some of those moments when he couldn't sell shit.
Right.
Because looking back on that press conference, I would have been laughing my ass off when Hulk Hogan was named and Sid was pissed.
Yeah.
And you just sitting there just, I'm dead. I don't have any emotion. Like, how often did he get done with them segments and was laughing his ass off? I really want to know. Like, I don't think I asked him that during this podcast. Maybe how hard would it sell? No. Was some of that shit so funny that you was like, yo, I gotta hold this shit.
Right.
Sid's selling this shit well. Right. But I was so pissed when they gave Hulk Hogan that title shot. Don't get me wrong, it's Hulk Hogan and Flair.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to see that shit. I wanted Sid Justice to get the title shot and go up against Ric Flair. So, like Sid, I was pissed. Went outside. Fuck Hogan. He ain't, you know goddamn well Hogan getting the title shot. When have you ever seen Jack Tunney not give Hulk Hogan whatever he wanted?
Right. Facts.
But don't get me wrong. When we saw Jack Tunney come on the screen, we knew shit was going to get lit.
Yeah.
But we also knew Hulk Hogan was about to get a gift.
Yeah, for sure.
So when Hulk Hogan did the yes.
That fool said,
right. Well, Sid looked like he had to take a shit right there. He was holding it. And then when they split, I'll never forget them splitting the matches. And I was confused. Now what are we doing here? Like, don't get me wrong. I want him to annihilate Hogan.
Yeah.
But what are we doing here? It was supposed to be Hogan and Flair. Let's just go ahead and take it there now.
Yeah.
I did not like that match between him and Hulk Hogan. That made me hate Hulk Hogan even more. As a kid, I was like, yeah, they just put too much shit in this match. We got Papa Shango coming down. He's doing his shit.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, Ultimate Warrior just come out of nowhere and shit.
Yeah.
Harvey Whippleman.
That had a good 205.
Yeah.
With the 205 live body.
Yeah. Skinny. That's when we started wondering, is the Ultimate Warrior dead?
Yeah.
Is this a second Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah. You know how the playground play. Ultimate after that WrestleMania, it was like, yo, Ultimate Warrior got AIDS. Ultimate Warrior might smoke crack. Like it was a lot of things being said about the Ultimate Warrior when we were.
Everything was being said about the Ultimate Warrior, but that was the Ultimate Warrior. There are still people to this day believe that that's another Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, yeah.
That Ultimate Warrior we saw go help out Hulk Hogan, get Sid and Papa Shango out the ring is not the Ultimate Warrior that beat Hulk Hogan, that beat Hercules, that beat Honky Tonk Man. There's people that still think there are at least 3 Warriors.
No facts. No, true.
Now, Sid goes and disappears for a bit. Turns out that Sid was doing one or two things. Sid was in the USWA going up against Jerry Lawler. He was playing football. In that time between WWF and WCW, I learned that Sid was an avid softball player. I'll tell y'all this. Sid is the reason why I know softball leagues and shit exist. I did not know. Did not know softball was as big as it was until you'd be reading like Pro Wrestling Illustrated and shit.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yo, Sid left to go play the ball. 16-inch. Like he's 6'9". Why is he playing softball? Like softball was the game that you played at barbecues in my lifetime. It was like, yo, we about to play this. We're about to go barbecue. They go bring the softball and the bats. And either you playing like piggy or you're playing like a whole bunch of other stuff. But I did not know. But he did. We see him in WCW again with Masters of the Power Bomb with him and Vader. That beach blast shit, I was so mad for Sid. I was mad for Sid for a couple of things. The beach blast shit with him, Vader, Sting, and Davey Boy Smith was some of the worst shit in wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And partially because the only said was just to be on the beach.
Like, why are y'all out there in the beach in y'all wrestling gear? Like, Sid was out there in his wrestling drawers and boots. Vader was out there in his wrestling out attire. And Sting and Davey Boy Smith is out there and they kicking it gear.
Yeah.
Look like they just smashed two bitches on the speedboat. And it just turned into some shit that just looked like came on the USA Network at 10:35.
Man, funny.
But let's remove that time of WCW because I know what the hell was going on. He started watching that match. Wow. B-Dot will listen to this show and dig in the crates. I fuck with that. I like that.
For sure.
But goddamn, yeah. But he comes to the WWF. And this is the Sid we love.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck all that justice shit, nigga.
Yeah, man.
Fuck all that. We crazy as hell now.
Mm-hmm.
Now we cooking with gas.
Yeah.
Now he's Sycho Sid.
Yeah.
How did you like the pair? Now Diesel is now a face.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like the new bodyguard replacement for Diesel? Sycho Sid paired with Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this. I didn't really recognize it at the time, but that was the perfect transition because the Sid Justice thing, you get mad, he leave, and you come back. And props to Vince McMahon for the slow burn now in hindsight, because Sid Justice, so angry, goes away, right? He comes back, then he's just Sid. But then more things keep happening, and it's almost like the Randy Orton character, the voices in my head thing. And then all of a sudden he becomes Sycho Sid, but he has to do some psycho things to call him Sycho Sid. So that and then pairing them with Shawn Michaels, because obviously, you out of here when Shawn Michaels is, in your storyline. But Diesel being the face, I think did they already do Diesel Taker by then? Or was that after?
That was after.
Okay. So in the aspect of just, letting Big Daddy Cool be Big Daddy Cool, he becomes the perfect foil for that plan with Shawn Michaels kind of like orchestrating and getting them both over in that way. So now, like this is becoming the fish grease moment for me. I'm like, okay, Sycho Sid. I'm still calling them Sid Vicious, but at least now we got something that's in the realm and the element of what I want to see from Sid. So now I'm cool. Everything else, the whole face thing, also hated it. Didn't really fit in every sense of the word. I also thought Hogan did a piss poor job of getting Sid over because he was giving them too much cheesy 80s heel vibes. Yeah. And we were in the 90s and we seen him destroy people. So you got to make him a destroyer. And here is where Kevin Nash, I believe, is very underrated. Because Kevin Nash, with, becoming this heel that's now a face, his character has always been very, authentic. I could see this guy outside punching somebody in the face and kicking it with black girls, right? So he has that element with him. And now him and Sid are about to clash. And I'm like, okay, I actually like both of these guys, but I'm still going to go with Sid because Sid, I know Sid can kill people if he wants to.
Yeah.
So now I'm happy.
This is a great segue. Because the reason why we get all of this is because Sid almost killing somebody.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I learned in the wrestling trades is there was a incident where Sid fought Arn Anderson. They were split up by Doug Dillinger, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a European tour or whatever, but Sid was sent to one room. Arn was sent to another. They got into an argument. And Arn Anderson was like, yo, bing, I'll fuck you up, Sid, with a broken bottle or something. And from what we know from wrestling, I don't blame him. Sid's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
So Sid reportedly, allegedly came to the room with a chair leg. Arn was like, fuck that. I got some scissors. Sid stabbed Arn Anderson a couple of times. Well, no, Arn Anderson stabbed Sid a couple of times. Sid stabbed Arn Anderson a lot of times.
A lot of times.
Too Cold Scorpio breaks up the fight. Nobody presses charges. And since they was about to dip, the country didn't press it. Now, why is this important? Because reportedly, allegedly, Sid was supposed to turn face. And he was supposed to go up against Vader for the championship at Starrcade and win it. But then the shit happened. And he is fired from WCW, goes to the USWA to wrestle Jerry the King Lawler and play softball, comes back to the WWF for the $1 Million Corporation shit, leaves, but then comes back. And this is when he starts to become Sid and then goes to Sycho Sid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he power bombs Shawn Michaels a lot of times. And we like, damn, Shawn Michaels is dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then they wrestle at Survivor Series. And you've talked about this on the show a couple of times.
Yeah.
This is one of our favorite moments in wrestling history.
Facts.
It's not necessarily the match.
No.
It is the reaction that Sycho Sid gets in Shawn Michaels' hometown. Tell us about that moment for you.
Man. Survivor Series 1996. The main event will forever be one of the most bizarre but understandable moments in wrestling, especially wrestling history, I would say, but for sure the WWF at the time, now the E. Because, man, I don't know who Shawn Michaels pissed off at the meet and greet. I don't know who mom he might have smashed in that audience. I do not know what tomfoolery that happened in San Antonio, Texas. But man, when that crowd, once the world title
and excuse me,
announced,
that wasn't the matter of fact. Let me revert back. I want to clear it up. The Survivor Series happened in New York, but the reaction also happened in San Antonio. But let's start with New York first. Keep going.
Yeah, yes. But all of a sudden, for one reason or another, the crowd just starts like slowly turning for Sid. Now, I don't know if it was just because they just like the promos and the laughing. I don't know if it's really because, in all honesty, we don't know this till later when he come out with Philippians on his chest, but Shawn Michaels is one of the worst human beings in the world, I guess, in 95, 96. But I'm not privy to that. There's no internet. I don't know. Like, there's no, Al Gore has not said, hey, yo, this is the internet. Have fun. It hasn't really happened like it.
We got to call a hotline.
Right, exactly. So I don't know if Shawn Michaels is just hanging up on kids on the hotline. I don't know. Shawn Michaels had to do something because the World Wrestling Federation universe is slowly but surely trying to put over a monster heel. Like, at this point in time, for the wrestling that I've seen, Sid has done some of the worst things ever to a face in the WWF.
In that match, he grabs the camera from the cameraman and hits Jose Lothario.
Hey, the man beat up the top face and his mentor.
His older mentor.
His older mentor, his old wrestling legend. Like, and it, see, he got an extra pop. See, we can't discount things because there is one reason to like cheer for a move. But Sid grabs that camera and there's only Jose there. And while he's trying to back him off, the crowd is going crazy. Like, yes, hit this motherfucker. Hit him now. Do it. And then when he makes the connect, that crowd, it's like they were at the World Series and the Grand Slam was hit. That's how crazy they go. That's how crazy they go. And I was just like, wow. I like Shawn Michaels, but this crowd feel like me. Like, no, I feel like I'm really a part of the match. I feel like I'm a part of this. So, man, seeing that, I was just like, okay, there's no way that they're gonna give Sid the title now, right? Now, because now I'm worried. Now I'm worried because you don't do that. And that guy that way gets the belt. Like, even we see looking forward now, even with Damien Priest, like once they figure out, oh, you know, we're not really booing dude. Now they're going out their way to make him a face. But that didn't happen with Sid. And then that's when the Survivor Series for me is even more special. Because as soon as Howard Finkel announces the match, and as soon as that first note sound effect of that music hits, that crowd is screaming and they are jumping up and down like fucking Bobby Brown just started doing Mr. Telephone Man and broke out the pumps, the rapid fire rabbit pumps. Like, that's how they're going crazy. And it's almost like Sid expected, but he don't at the same time. So now it's one of the greatest simplistic sells of an intro ever for me. Because all he go up there, he fist bumping high fives. He just asking the crowd who the man. And they're asking, and they're like, you. Yeah, you're the man. And my favorite part, as he gets to the edge of the ramp, he looks square in the white dude's face. Who's the man? You're the man. Who's the man? He's yelling at him. He was like, and then he got his confirmation. He's like, bet. And he just walk off.
Look, that is the first time that I saw a monster heel get cheered over a major babyface.
Yeah.
That is the first time that I see Bizarro WWE/F universe. New York City, Madison Square Garden, 1996. Sid defeats Shawn Michaels, and the fact that the crowd was extremely happy that this happened, I never saw anything like it. At the same time, I was happy as hell that Sid got the title. I was like, yes, finally, somebody puts a belt on this man, and he deserves it. Now, after that, he ends up wrestling against Bret Hart. Bret Hart I think it was the It's Time where reportedly, allegedly, that's where Vader was actually supposed to win the title. And Vader was supposed to go on to WrestleMania, but Shawn Michaels was like, yo, fuck this dude right here. Like, I know he big, but he fat. And Vince McMahon was like, you know what? You're right. But at It's Time, Sid defended the title against Bret Hart. Bret Hart made Sid tap. But like always, the referee was out. Shawn Michaels was commentating at ringside. He started fighting, like he got involved some type of way. Shawn Michaels was about to go in, but threw Bret Hart into him, and then he powerbombed Bret Hart to retain the title. Let me say this. When he won the title, I was happy.
Mm-hmm.
But when he beat Bret Hart, I was like, holy shit. What's going on here? Like, don't nobody beat Bret Hart in these matches for the title at this point. Like, you go up against Bret Hart for the title, Bret Hart gonna win it. So I was shocked and surprised. Now, at the Royal Rumble in 1997, he lost the belt, but that crowd in San Antonio, as we talked about, was not all pro Shawn Michaels in his hometown. But Shawn Michaels gets the belt back in his hometown. He gets Sweet Chin Music's off. But then that's when a couple of weeks later, Shawn Michaels lost his smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lost my smile. So there was a Four Corners match with Bret Hart, The Undertaker, Stone Cold, and Vader. Bret Hart won. And then he fought Sid for the championship. And again, shocked the hell out of me. Right afterwards, Bret Hart loses the belt to Sid.
Yeah. And shout out to Bret Hart for being a G and putting Sid over, man.
Yeah. But still, it's just like, wait a goddamn minute here.
Yeah.
This is what we doing? Wow. I'm shocked.
And you know, and it might sound weird to some people, but I do thank Sid because with that, Sid, I want to say two things are kind of happening at the same time. Because while Sycho Sid is doing his thing here, there is a Stone Cold Steve Austin coming. And I think both of their stories, both with Bret and with Shawn, it definitely begins to shape like what a tweener really is. Like, now we're liking the guys that are great at being bad or just great at being monster heels. So, like, this ends up becoming a very pivotal moment in wrestling, whether we really truly acknowledge it or not. But man, Sid going over on Shawn, going over on Bret, and kind of being in the forefront as the champ and not changing up his character in an effort to be like a face. Like, you know, they don't, like, Sid wins these belts and he's not making wishes that we know of. And he's not doing like commercials for like IcoPro and telling kids positive messages. It's like, no, he's laughing randomly to himself. He's asking the world who's a man. He's powerbombing people through tables. Like it's still very real out here. So I think that with all of that, man, in hindsight, you don't, well, not in hindsight, in the moment, you don't realize what it's becoming, but it definitely becomes something that kind of changes the course of wrestling, forever. I mean, really, if we're truly being honest about it.
Yeah. So he ends up going to WrestleMania 13, a very historic WrestleMania 13. He defends the title and loses it to The Undertaker. That's also the same night that I feel like the company changed, because that's also the same night where we see the double turn with Bret Hart and Stone Cold, actually in Chicago. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
before the match of Sid and The Undertaker starts, Bret Hart comes out here and says that he's the uncrowned champion and all of that. And who power bombs him? Sid.
Yeah.
So if I could talk to Bret Hart, I have a question for Bret. What deal did you and Sid have that where you had to put Sid over that many times in a couple of months? Man, he beat you for the title once, but twice. And then he power bombs you at WrestleMania after you come up and then complaining about how you feel like it's a farce that you're not the champ. Somebody has to tell me about the relationship that these two had. Because Bret Hart put over Sid, in my opinion, more than he did his own family.
Oh no, for sure. For sure. You know, I not that I can ever answer for Bret Hart, but I definitely think that it came a point where, like, I'm sure just like how, you know, when Vince McMahon was recruiting new talent or whatever, and it was always, there's always that one guy that was like, oh yeah, we need to get this guy, we need to get that guy, we need to, you know, do this or whatever. I think in the process of Bret building his own legacy, I think he was actually just adamant about setting up the next guys. Because, you know, I mean, look, hey, we've said hundreds of times how Bret's first title run felt really jobberish. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, now give me Shawn, give me Taker, give me Sid, give me all these other guys, whether they're bigger, you know, badder, they try to kill me, whatever. But you can't say I didn't do my part with putting over these guys in a very big way, and or just giving them very notable matches or moments in their career. So I kind of feel like that's it, because we kind of all look like that first title run, like, man, let's see what 2, 3, 4, and 5 have to offer.
Yeah. Well, a little bit after that, Sid ended up leaving the WWF. He had a neck injury. He was released to recover from that. He popped up at ECW for a little bit between that time, and he wrestled on the indie circuit and he played softball. And then in 1999, he came back to the company that he started with, WCW. He was a part of, and I don't know if you remember this, Camp, but Randy Savage had a stable called Team Madness.
Oh yeah, wasn't Gorgeous George?
Yes,
and
yes, the hell she did. That's what I wanted to make sure. Goddamn. Let me just say this: Gorgeous George is top 5 in women's wrestling history for me.
Yeah.
Not in her match quality.
Yeah, no.
Because I don't even remember her wrestling in the match. But god damn, boy. Mach, you picked a good one. I don't know what happened between y'all. I didn't look at the documentary. I didn't want to change my perspective.
just in case he was super wilding.
Just in case you were super wilding. But goddamn, y'all picked a good one in Gorgeous George. After that, he became the Millennium Man. And they gave him an undefeated streak, just like Goldberg was, which was hilarious. But he did what we liked him to do. He's just coming at that powerbombing folks.
Yeah.
Then he ended up winning the United States Championship from Chris Benoit. He then began a feud with Goldberg, which I ain't gonna lie. Maybe it's just me. But the first person that I was really like, the first 2 people that I really was like, okay, they picked Goldberg up against Goldberg last folks, is Bam Bam Bigelow and Sid.
Mm-hmm.
Then was the 2 people when they put Goldberg in the matches. I was like, okay, we cooking with gas here. Maybe, just maybe, Goldberg might get his ass beat. He ended up getting in that feud with Goldberg. Goldberg fucked himself up No, I don't think that was himself fucking. No, Goldberg fucked up Sid that night. Damn near bled him out. Then they had an I Quit match. And then that whole streak was out the way. But they did end up doing some stuff with Sid. They end up having like a little take, the Millennium Man come out. And then after that, he turned face.
Mm-hmm.
And did he end up wrestling for the championship because somebody got hurt?
Mm-hmm.
You guessed it, Bret Hart. Because this is where Bret Hart got his concussion against Goldberg.
Yeah.
So he wrestled Chris Benoit. I remember seeing this pay-per-view. Why? Because this pay-per-view ended up free. I remember keeping it up on the channel, just waiting to see, like, yo, am I gonna get this shit for free? And they started to showing the shit, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get this. This is a free pay-per-view. So they never turned it off. I never ordered this pay-per-view. I think it was sold out or some shit, but we end up watching that for free. Chris Benoit ends up winning his first WCW World Heavyweight Championship, and then he left for WWF the next day.
Hey, get it done and get it out of there.
Yeah. They said that that Sid's foot was underneath the rope or some shit like that. So they vacated the title and they presented it. Like they had a match. I think it was. I can't remember if that was it. But he had to wrestle the twin dudes with the bald head. The niggas that used to up in Eli Blue. And then he ended up beating them. He ended up beating Kevin Nash for the championship. They stripped him of the belt, and then they did caged heat, and he ended up beating Nash in that match. And then had a match with Paul and Jeff Jarrett. Then I don't know if you remember, but Hulk Hogan came back, and then they did that whole thing there. He ended up retaining. He ended up going heel because it was supposed to be like Sid and Hogan again versus Jarrett and Scott Steiner. And Sid remembered what happened in the early 90s. I'm not trusting this bitch ass dude. So he ended up beating Hulk Hogan's ass. Then they all start to do like the Millionaires Club and all of that shit or whatever. But we want to fast forward all of that shit because really, after this happens, one of the nastiest injuries that I've ever seen in a wrestling ring happened.
Yeah, man.
I remember this vividly because this was another pay-per-view that I ended up seeing for free. And I regretted it.
Okay.
So Sid ended up wrestling Scott Steiner. And in this match, he ended up wrestling for him for a match, but then they end up doing a fatal four-way. Steiner, Jeff Jarrett, Road Warrior Animal, Sid for the championship. And for some strange reason that I still don't get, Sid went to the second rope.
Yeah.
And he ended up coming down. And that shit went different ways.
Yeah. Horrific.
I'll never forget seeing that and being like, oh shit. And Scott Steiner going over for the quick roll up. And ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's still one of the like wildest like freak accident injuries I think I've ever seen. That one and Kevin Ware. Ugh.
Ooh, yeah. Kevin Ware, yeah, that shit, his bone was, I still remember hearing that pop. Yeah. I was at my grandmother-in-law's house.
Ugh.
And was like, holy shit. I heard that pop. But we don't really see Sid anymore after that. He made like a random ass appearance on Raw. Like years later. I can't remember. I think it was with Heath Slater. This is when like the Legends was whooping Heath Slater's ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then after that, we don't necessarily see him again. But now there was, well, not now, but before that, there were a number of interviews that Sid did where Sid was campaigning to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I always wondered, why the hell was he not a member of that Hall of Fame already? He's a two-time WWE champion.
Mm-hmm.
He main evented WrestleMania twice.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tag team champion. This is all just WWF.
Yeah.
He wrestled in Headline Starrcade 2000. He's the States Heavyweight Champion too. I never understood why he was not a member of the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Now, reportedly, allegedly, him and Vince McMahon did not have a good relationship. Now, I'm moving away from all of the issues
Mm-hmm.
that Vince McMahon has had that we know about. But I think it was like, just knowing this now, what the hell was the WWE thinking not putting Sid Vicious in the Hall of Fame? Sycho Sid, Sid Justice, whatever name you want to give him.
Mm-hmm.
That man should have been in the Hall of Fame, and he should not had to campaign. No disrespect to you, Coco Beware, but if Coco Beware ass is in the Hall of Fame, Sid should have been there.
Yeah. I think the thing that happens with Hall of Fame inductions is the same thing that's happened with a few other Hall of Fame inductions, is where, yeah, we're playing characters and we're going through these storylines, and the work is the work, but then eventually somebody wants to be like, oh, but in real life, fuck you. And that's not fair. It's not fair to me. I feel that way about Sid. I feel that way about China. I felt that way about a few other people. Like, I don't care what somebody's relationship is with somebody. The work is the work. If it's really about having a wrestling Hall of Fame, and I'm not saying that business and personal don't bleed over as we talk about just life and just things like that. I understand that. But if what gets you in the Hall of Fame is your body of work, and there is nothing about your body of work that is less than impeccable, then there is no like reason for a Sycho Sid to not be in the Hall of Fame. Like, it's when you like, eventually you have to realize that some people, based on when they were born, are just synonymous with wrestling to certain fans. There is at least, I would say, Bang, 2 generations of people that are super familiar with who Sid is. Like Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Sid, and Sycho Sid. Like, there's 2 generations of wrestling fans that exist that are more than well aware, and most likely he was one of the top guys during that time. He was a champion during that time. He was super over at that time. So it doesn't make any sense to me why him and a handful of other people have not, been in the Hall of Fame, or they got there way later than time warranted. Like that. A lot of it doesn't make sense to me, and I don't want to get too deep into the wrestling politics of it, but because I'm not qualified to, just to be real. But as a fan, as a supporter of wrestling, there is no Wrestling Hall of Fame without a Sid Vicious in it, if you're asking me.
Yeah, I'll do it. I think that, right, politics should not play a part in stuff like this. I don't give a damn if you own the company and all of that. But I'll move the politics aside and won't get into it. I'll stick there. Sycho Sid is more than a Hall of Famer. He's one of these people who, in my opinion, Sycho Sid is one of those people, in my opinion, transformed the business.
Mm-hmm.
Just go back to that 1996 Survivor Series. For some people like me, that was the first time that you saw a mega heel cheered. Sid Vicious was supposed to be the dude that you were afraid of. That night, Sycho Sid became the dude that you want to cheer for, root for, and be down for. Look at those fans fist pounding him. Look at those "Who's the Man" chants. Look at the pop. That's not supposed to happen. For somebody like Shawn Michaels, who was the babyface of all babyfaces at that time, him to get his ass beat and his manager and his mentor get his ass beat in one match and everybody cheers Sid, that changes the business. Because just like with the NWO, stuff like that creates anti-heroes. Stone Cold Steve Austin creates anti-heroes. I think at that moment, Sid became one of the biggest and best anti-heroes of all time. And for me, to me, that's part of his legacy. This man, when you look at his character, should not have been the person that you cheered for.
Right.
And anytime you saw him at one moment or another, you wanted to see him win. You wanted to see him cook. And whether it was in WCW or WWF, you got that. And him should be in the Hall of Fame. It's disappointing that he didn't get to see the Hall of Fame before he passed. He clearly knew that he was not going to be here long, because in one of his final interviews, he campaigned about being in the WWE Hall of Fame. He's in a tweet as well. He said that he maybe with this change with Triple H, he'd get a chance to see the WWE Hall of Fame before he passed. The man, even though he was an avid softball player, he loved this business. And the fact that he's not going to get a chance to see the Hall of Fame alive, it sucks. But I can tell you right now, for me, Sid is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. The fact that Sid gave us some of the moments that he gave us, and again, just off of the fact that because of Sid, Kevin Nash, Vader, because of those three people, powerbombing all of my young family members. Every one of my young family members got a power bomb because of those three guys. He's one of the masters of the power bomb. He's a multiple-time heavyweight champion, a multiple time person who just whooped everybody's ass. He was one of the best heels in the business and one of the best anti-heroes in the business. Salute to Sycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice we could keep.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all was bogus for that.
But
salute to that man. He is one of the people that really was influential in our childhood, and thoughts and prayers to his family, to his immediate family, his son, to his softball family, and to everybody who messed with Sycho Sid. Hey man, powerbomb your child today.
Or anybody's child for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's important, man. Even though it would be ill-timed, it may be deemed as nasty work, but even if they put him in the Hall of Fame next year, I would at least be okay with that, even though it sucks that he won't be there to see it. Man, part of me hopes that he's already prepared the speech or some words and somebody can just read it. You know what I'm saying, for him. I can't leave this segment without saying this, and I'm going to say this way earlier. Sid Vicious, WCW. I remember we were in the church volleyball tournament, and every time I spiked on somebody, I would drop to one knee and do the pose and do the pose because I was like, yo, I'm the master and the ruler of the world. You know what I'm saying? I am the man that rules the world. And I spike on somebody and drop to one knee and do the pose. That was Sid Vicious. Man, I just co-signing everything that Bang said. Sid is definitely one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's definitely, I mean, everybody says they got a top 5, but to be clear about who my top 5 of like giants, monsters, big guys are, it's no particular order, but Yoko, Vader, Sid, Bam Bam, and I'll say Taker at 5. That's for me. That's for me. That's what I like. And honestly, if we went favorite, Taker would probably drop a little bit lower out of that 10. I mean, out of that 5, and I throw somebody else in there. You know, but we're not here about that. We're here for Sid. Man, condolences and prayers to everyone that knew him, loved him, whether it's in the ring or out of ring, no matter what sport you played with him. Like, man, truly one of the masters of getting yourself over, truly a master of like being so great at your character you can just be undeniable. So great at just the psychology of wrestling. You know, as much as we are in this spot heavy 5-star match era, nobody made you think and feel like Sid did, not only in his era, but especially not in this era. And that should be celebrated and applauded. Again, just great person, great character as far as everything Sid, outside of Sid Justice. And yeah, man, prayers, condolences, and rest in peace to the MF and legend, the MF and future Hall of Famer, Sycho Sid.
All right, man. So let's go ahead and move on to the PLE that happened on yesterday afternoon for us Americans. Bash at Berlin. What do you think about the pay-per-view? Before we recap some of the matches, we've talked about sometimes how these matches ends up like glorified house shows or Saturday night's main event. Like, what was your thoughts on this PLE?
You know what? I sincerely like it. It was stacked heavy. It was a lot of title matches. It was a lot of just high, as they say, PLE WrestleMania caliber matches. That when you look back at it, the crowds, man, the crowd, European, overseas crowds, they really kill us every time. You know what I was thinking? This is the third time now. Like, Americans, we don't have a song to just sing before when the wrestling matches start. We just don't have one. Like should it be like "Don't Stop Believing" or something like that? Like, what song do they be singing? And then they make up songs for the other wrestlers. I'm like, is that just something that we like? Is it just because like we not one country, like we states too, that we don't got a song? Because the songs be getting me charged up. I don't be understanding nothing but Drew McIntyre. I'm like, oh, hey, okay, hey, all right. But like, how come Americans like, yeah, we need to come up with a song. We need a song for the wrestlers for the main event start.
I did not think about that until you said it.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, Montreal got one. Berlin got one. Where was they just at? Clash of the Castle. They had one.
Scotland.
Yeah. They like whenever they somewhere else, and it's like some like House of Pain worthy song. Like they be like, hey, jump around, like or whatever. They did the wave. I ain't seen the wave since 1998. Like, yo,
so basically you saying that Americans are At this point, we're lame as hell when it comes to.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, all these international crowds got us looking like Sioux Falls, North Dakota. They got us looking like Sioux Falls out here. We looking like damn Puyallup, Washington, or somewhere. Like, yo, come on, man. Let's galvanize. Let's come up with a song. American wrestling fans, let's come up with a song. Start singing it before the like when our favorites come out. I don't know.
What song would that be for you? Looking at these PLEs and seeing all of these Europeans do a song before the big match, what song would you have the crowd sing to get them ready for the main?
I mean, man, since I know it's universal, the only one that's come to my mind is like, we got to at least get the hook of Don't Stop Believing off or something. Like, we got to do something. I think they're making it up. I think somebody's at a pub. They come up with these songs drunk. It started with like 3 guys, but then it's like 10. And then like 3 wives join in. And then all of a sudden the whole bar sings it. And then it just becomes culture at that point. And I think that's what be happening once they buy tickets. Hey, we about to go to the wrestling event. We're about to drink some pints and we're about to celebrate and kick it at the damn wrestling event. And then once our guys come out, we're going to sing in jubilance and celebration of Sheamus or of Cody Rhodes. We got to let Cody Rhodes like, hey, look, we know you're an American from Georgia, but this is our song to you, sir. And I think that's what happens. I don't think there's something that's playing on the radio. It can't be, because the song is too long. It ain't no hook. Ain't no hook for the song. They just be singing some shit.
The Final Countdown is my pick.
Hey, listen. Hey, look. Yeah, because you can do the beat. Like
the final count. It's the final countdown.
Hey, I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it.
So let me ask you a question. This is not a question for laughter. Now, I'm not meaning this as a joke, Cam. But also, I'm not shit. What if white men, ages 18 to 34, before the main event at a PLE, recited lyrics from a certain Negro spiritual that was done by Snoop Murder before the main event?
Man, hey. So I'm gonna tell you off top. I'll concede. But here's the thing. I don't want y'all to get mad when they know the whole song. You can't, that should be the rules. You want white people to know your songs and your heritage and your culture, and you want to let them know how you feel and these songs that express those things. Well, they historically want to learn everything about it. Listen, if you have ever been the black friend that's introduced your white friend to something black, you do realize that they come back 3 days later with history that you weren't even aware of. And they know word for word everything that's happening. So if we're giving the ultimate pass to fully embrace everything that comes with these songs, then let's go ahead. That's how I feel in my middle age. That's how I feel.
It'd just be funny as hell if it's like the bloodline versus, let's say, matter of fact, we're gonna do this, just do it right. Let's say it's the bloodline, it is Solo, because they'd be in Atlanta. Y'all. They will be in Atlanta for Bad Blood.
Right. Yeah.
So it would be very hilarious to me if in Atlanta at Bad Blood, it's the Bloodline Solo and the Gorillas of Destiny versus Cody, Jimmy Uso, and Roman Reigns. And all of a sudden you hear the crowd go, fuck the mother hitters, cause I'm down for hitters. Hey, fuck the mother hitters, cause I'm down for my hitters. Hey, fuck the mother hitters, cause I'm down for
Hey, listen.
hitters.
Hey, let me even do you one better. I would love to see 15,000 or more people in unison in the swag surfing motion, and they da 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 da. Hey, listen, America, we could do that. Look,
we got to do something though.
Right, we gotta do something. And if we want to, if we want to remix, we want to do a mashup, and we want to just chant the down for my niggas beat, but we align like we're swag surfing at wrestling events, because we gotta compete, man. We gotta compete.
Yeah, had losing recipes, man.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Like, we gotta do something, because every time I see one of these international PLEs, I want to get my passport ready for the next one. That's what I want to do.
We gotta do something. We out here lame. We out here scaring the hoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if I'm a wrestler, and somebody might have something on this, but if I'm a wrestler and I just from goddamn Germany, and they out here singing some random ass songs to get hype. If I'm in England and they're doing Sweet Caroline before the main event, or doing the version for Bear, they doing the shit that they did for AJ Styles. But then I get to America and y'all just, yeah.
Right. Yeah, man.
Like, hey, take us somewhere else. I thought it was lit. Like, Chicago, New York, and LA can't be the only lit places.
Yeah, exactly.
Do something, y'all. Like, do something. Like,
they be
pinch
going up.
bitch, something. Because right now we're looking like the lames in the clubs and over there having a good time, and y'all too cool for school. Yeah,
man.
You know, like, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, man.
These events, man.
Yeah. That's the most important part of that WWE universe for entertainment, sports entertainment. Like, we are so critical of the entertainment that we are not taking time to entertain and be entertained by the entertainment.
I'll even go further in saying this. Look, man, the only time y'all get hype can't be when the national anthem comes on.
Yeah, hey, facts.
That can't be. They sing the national anthem. It's like, America.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just sit in the seats for the rest of them. Man, imagine if London gets WrestleMania.
Hey.
And the ring that Sweet Caroline, how Sweet Caroline will ring off if WrestleMania is in London. Wait to sing that shit.
Man.
We got to sing something. What can we do? America, white men, ages 18 to 34. Yeah. What can we do to make it seem like it's lit?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, it's on y'all. It's on y'all, because y'all are the core demo. Yeah, and y'all see what the international white males 18 to 34 is out there doing, bro. Like, come on, man. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. I do like "We Ready" by Archie Eversole as being one of those songs, because they can get that whole hook off and nobody's racially offended. I like that. Shout out to Donnie. Hey, look, hey, listen, hey, again, in my middle age, man, we got to pick a side on the N-word. We got to pick a side. And like, because it's even too many rules for me. Like, we've learned in the last 5 years since the pandemic, white people can't even call other white people the N-word. Like, I didn't think that was a thing. Y'all said that Santos Escobar couldn't call the other Spanish dudes the N-word.
I forgot
bro,
about
come
that.
on. Yeah, I was like, yo.
I still got that screenshot somewhere.
It's like, bro, like, yo, man, I'm trying to only police the N-word within my community. I wasn't trying to police it anywhere else. And y'all have opened up the floodgates for all this other stuff. So pick a song. We will swag surf in unison. I'm still down for swag surfing in unison while just humming the down for my niggas beat. Like I think that's a good starting point. but yeah, no, white people come up with something. You got Irish cousins here, you got German cousins here. Like, yo, first of all, find out what they be singing. Let's remix it. You know what I'm saying? Let's be so America about it. Let's take their shit. Like, and let's do something else with it, repurpose it, and let's rock these arenas, man. Let's stop playing, man.
Yeah, we got to figure it out. We need to figure out a song. We got to do something. We can't be out-fanned by these Europeans.
Facts.
Now, maybe that just made me sound as racist as I say that you are.
hey, we from America, bro. What do they expect from us now?
All right, I just want to make sure.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, we from America. This is how we know America get down. So we just trying to let Americans be Americans.
I need us to find a lit song that, or just make it regional. Yeah. Like Philadelphia, do Freeway them. Like that might be the perfect song for a market. Remember when the Philadelphia 76ers played somebody and Freeway was there, and then the crowd, they were paying to the crowd. There was random people that was doing the lyrics to Freeway, What We Do.
Yeah.
How come we can't do that that's what should have happened in Philly. Mm-hmm. That's what should have happened in Philly. Mm-hmm. They should have did that, or Dreams and Nightmares, and somebody did the lyrics, or just the whole crowd. Imagine if the entire crowd in Philly for WrestleMania did the first verse or the only verse for Dreams and Nightmares before the main event. Mm-hmm. That would have been lit.
Yeah.
Philly, you can do that when the WWE comes back and do Freeway, What We Do, Dreams and Nightmares, Meek Mill. New York, what can New York do?
New York, they got a few things they could do. In all honesty, I mean, hey, look, shoot, the Alicia Keys Empire State of Mind hook. Everybody knows that. People not from New York know that one. It's very harmonious. It's it's a classic amongst them. And people from I've seen people not from New York sing the hook for Empire State of Mind at the top of their lungs in Indianapolis. Yeah,
New York, concrete jungle, wet dream to Dorado. That's what girl. That's what the girl from the Hot Tour girl said. That's how she hears the song. Concrete jungle, wet dream tomato.
Hey, okay. Well,
right. Concrete jungle, wet dream tomato.
That sounds like she into some kinky shit.
Hey, probably. Let's go to the matches that happened. Let's start with the first match. Cody Rhodes defeated Kevin Owens. We picked that. No, you picked Kevin Owens.
Yes. I was hoping to get a surprise. I'm just trying to make it fun, make it spicy. Even though, again, like I told y'all, smart money is on Cody Rhodes, but Kevin Owens lost. Elements of what I wanted to see did not happen, and that's when I knew Kevin Owens was losing. But I do like where the character of Kevin Owens is going. I like where this is going now officially.
So tell it, what are your thoughts about where is Kevin going after this match?
Kevin Owens is going back to sorry for being a nice guy, and that shit is over and dead with. Shout out to Michael Cole for selling Kevin Owens really well during this match, too, by the way. The hasn't had a title in 7 years. They put down when he was last on the Universal Champion, and him even reacting to Wade Barrett about the killer inside, all of that. Like, all of that was a really great job of selling Kevin Owens and the Kevin Owens that people love. See, that is the thing. Again, in that Sycho Sid, in that Stone Cold Steve Austin, look, I don't like when Kevin Owens plays by the rules. I don't like when Kevin Owens has friends. I don't like when he's trying to look out for people. I like Kevin Owens when he's looking out for himself, and he's willing to hurt people at any instance, and he's very brash, and he's talking the shit about how he's really the best in the world, even though I look like this. That is the Kevin Owens that I love and respect, and that is the Kevin Owens I can't wait to see come back. So great job by everybody about making us realize how much we do not want Sportsmanship Award winner of the year, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I was waiting for Kevin Owens to kick Cody Rhodes in the nuts.
Facts.
I put that in the group. Like, kick him in the nuts, Kevin. That's what I was waiting on. I was waiting on the raising of hands, and they kept raising each other's hands and shit. And I was like, all right, he about to go ahead and kick him in the nuts. And he didn't kick him in the nuts. And I was very disappointed that he didn't kick him in the nuts. Maybe it happens on Friday, SmackDown, because I believe that this Friday or next Friday SmackDown is the first one on USA. So maybe, just maybe, for the first episode of SmackDown on the USA Network, we get the Kevin Owens heel turn. But it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do I believe that heel turn is coming, this heel turn is going to make us not need Roman Reigns in any title hunt match to the point where guaranteed Kevin Owens will become again a singles world. He will become the undisputed heavyweight champion. Cody's going to have to drop that to get it back.
Yeah.
Because this Kevin Owens is going to be the Kevin Owens that we miss. The one that's like, yo, I got to feed my family.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm being too nice to y'all and not being respectful to my family. Right. I need to get back to that, Kevin. It's time to get back to the money. Cody, I'm about to beat your ass. And he's going to become the champion. Cody's going to get that little rest he needs. And he's going to be a transitional champion, but a champ nonetheless.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
And I'm okay with that. Shoot, hey, I'm okay with Kevin Owens and LA Knight battling over the U.S. title and that being the starting point, even though he's been consistently in the world title hunt for a few years now. But even if they want to do that, I'd be with it.
Hey man, if you put together a list of greatest United States champions, Kevin Owens might be on that list.
Yeah.
So true. Even that's interesting, right? Let's go to the next match. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, aka Sisters with Suplexes. Or Dark and Lovely, as I saw somebody on Twitter put yesterday. But they defeated the Unholy Union, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn. Let me say this, Kent. You said it on this show.
Yeah.
Hey, she's a very underrated person on the roster.
I love
Yeah, she's very underrated. But they end up losing the titles. You predicted that one wrong too, Kent. What's going on?
Yeah, man. I know they came out dressed alike, but everything about that match, I thought that this was going to be Bianca Belair's way of saying, hey, okay, look, my job is done here. You guys got it from here, right? Let me go get Nia in this title. But that's not what happened. That whole match, and here's another reason why it should be over. And respect to the Fire and Dawn, because I'm not saying this solely about them, But boy, did Bianca Belair really sell the hell out of this entire match and put everybody over but herself. Like that is and that's the other reason why, even as the match is going on, I was like, okay, man, she's doing a really good job. Like, I believe in all of this, and I mean, the tag experience, just the eye test of the tag experience with Jade and Bianca is not working for me. I just saw that that Aubrey was like Berlin was racist to Jade and Bianca. If I don't know what happened outside of the ring, but if it's in regards to the match, I don't think that's racism. I just think that match wasn't that good. Like if I'm just being 100% honest, they don't seem too in sync. And I'm gonna say it's more or less because of how green Jade Cargill is. Every single move she did a taunt or a pose, and it's like, damn, can you just get in the match? And can you do the match? Like, can you really get the performance down? We get it. You strong, you gorgeous. The people hear it. Like, we get it. But yo, can you have a couple sequences that don't involve some power move and then you reacting to what you just did? I thought that killed the match for me personally, and I thought it was going to be the downfall of the team, which would have been a reason to get Fire and Dawn over. But that's not what happened. They won. Well, damn.
I disagree with you for a bit.
Okay.
Not much. But now I'm at where she ain't really green. She's just the Ultimate Warrior. Everybody got she's not green. She's the Ultimate Warrior. She's the person that's gonna give you some power moves and pose and grab the ropes and hit move and pin.
So now, love that analogy. Here's where I get it, and it's a time and a place. When the Warriors doing that against Louis Spicolli or Barry Horowitz or the Brooklyn Brawler, yeah, bust all your moves and do your thing and pose. But when you got Ted DiBiase, when you got the Macho Man, when you got Sergeant Slaughter, you got Hulk Hogan, tone that shit down and let's have a match.
So I'm glad that you said that. Mm-hmm. I believe that's coming.
Okay.
I believe that we will get that when we see him go up against one of those people. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're there yet because he's not going to get that with, she's not going to get that with Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. Mm-hmm. I think we're more likely to see that with Io Sky in them. I think we're more liable to see that when Charlotte Flair comes back. Mm-hmm. That's when I expect to see that Ultimate Warrior versus Macho Man match.
Okay.
That is the best match the Ultimate Warrior has ever in his natural life. That match at WrestleMania 7, Hulk Hogan, to WrestleMania 7, Macho Man versus Ultimate Warrior, career match. So when, or if, let me just say if we see a breakup between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill that are to a feud, then maybe we see that then. Mm-hmm. But even that match that they did at SummerSlam wasn't better than the rest of the 7 match. So,
see?
It's who you go up against. Mm-hmm. And to me, the only people that she could do that with at this point right now is Charlotte Flair. I won't call her Becky Lynch until she signs back with the WWE. Rebecca Quinn.
Yeah.
So important. Charlotte Flair, Quinn, Bianca Belair, Sky, Asuka are the 5 people that I expect her to have that match with. Everybody else, Jay gonna beat their ass. But there's only those 5 women that I feel like we're going to get the match to get hope we get. We ain't gonna get it with Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre. We might even throw another name out there because she's inching towards being the greatest female performer in NXT history. Roxanne Perez. Maybe somebody like that. But she ain't gonna get that outside of those 6 women. And that might be the problem, because I would think that she would need somebody that also could come with the power. And Raquel Gonzalez is still out. She's the only other person right now that comes to mind from a power perspective outside of Nia Jax, because Nia Jax is an old dude. Maybe that's also why they're keeping those 2 separate right now as well, and have kept them separate. For me, if you have a power person, then you need to have a match that's going to be about knockdown. Alba Fyre, Isla Dawn are not wrestlers, but they're also not people that are smaller that you probably have a good match with either. So, but that's all I have to say. I did say mind that match either. So let's move on to the Yapapa strap match. Well, it wasn't the
Yapapa strap.
I find that video, man. The Hulk Hogan said the Yapapa strap match. Vader, when I get you in the Yapapa strap match, that's what that was right there. But CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, as expected, CM Punk won this match. So they're 1-1. Bad Blood is the next pay-per-view. Bad Blood, maybe we see Hell in the Cell between those 2. But you were kind of off these 2 wrestling again. Do you feel as do you say after this Yapapa strap match?
Well, you know what? I was only off of it if Drew won. Because again, great job by Michael Cole making it clear that this is the first match that CM Punk has won in the WWE in over 10 years.
Right.
That kind of stuff matters to me. Long form storytelling. The guy called himself the best in the world, hasn't won the match in 11 years. That's crazy. And I didn't expect him to win a regular wrestling match against Drew McIntyre. However, the strap match, I was just like, look, this should be all in favor now of him with the strap. A lot of funny innuendo commentary from Wade Barrett and Michael Cole in this match, by the way. I don't know if I was watching high, but still. It was funny. But that outside of the very awkward moment of Drew McIntyre definitely pulling the bracelet from his trunks, and then it ended up on CM Punk's wrist and hand, and he definitely kissed it before he hit the final.
He did. Damn.
I was like, yeah. Outside of that, just my germaphobe brain kicked in, among other things. It was like, wow, he just really kissed that from his nuts. That's crazy. I was like, but hey, he won the match. Now, yeah, like you said, best of 3 series is officially on. I'm not mad at it. However, I do now that everybody's healthy enough to wrestle, now that he has the bracelet back, now you got to tell me what y'all fighting for. So this next match should be the last match. Now those 2 can both go on and do something else. So yeah, now I'm ready for this to end. I'm still ready for this to end. But because now you have nothing to fight over. He got the bracelet back. Both of y'all healthy. Neither one of y'all fighting for the title. Neither one of y'all are next for the title. So now let's end this. Now let's see where we go after that.
Well, I don't know, because after the show, they interviewed CM Punk, and CM Punk was like, "Yeah, I'm done with this shit now. I'm about to go. I'm just gonna see what this match between Gunther and Randy Orton looks like. Normally they say the better man win, but now they have wrestled the better man. So it looks like versus Gunther is on this, and I got some on that one. Yeah. But with that, if that match were to happen, I can expect Drew McIntyre to cost Punk that, which is going to that Bad Blood match. And I do believe that match is going to have championship implications because of my thoughts on Gunther versus Randy Orton and what's next for Gunther. But it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, CM Punk ain't just gonna cut the line with one victory in 11 years. No, bro. You. Hey, that's cool story, bro. But no, get your third match with Drew McIntyre off, then face Damien Priest, then face Seth Rollins, then face Randy Orton. Shit. Hey, like you got a lot to do, bro. Like, nah, I don't care what he thinks or says. You're not. No, hey, that's some wild shit. That's some wild shit to say, Phil. Like, yo, what are you talking about? No, you're not. No, the title ain't next. Gunther ain't next, bro. Hey, you need to fight Finn Balor, bro. Are you crazy as hell? No. All right. Next match. That's wild.
Wild. We gonna go to the next match. The Terror Twins, Damien Priest and Rhea Ripley versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. The Terror Twins wins this match. We both thought that the Terror Twins would lose this match due to outside interference. It definitely looked that way, but it did not happen. The Terror Twins win. So when will we see Damien Priest and Rhea Ripley hold the tag team titles?
Man, hey, that's probably have the next pay-per-view and the next probably right before CM Punk match with somebody else. That ain't Gunther. Probably about that. Yeah, hey man. Again, and maybe this is my brain just working on a different speed. But I was like, as I'm watching the match, I'm like, wait, the ref missed all of this? Like this is basically a tornado match. It's a Judgment Day tornado match featuring Liv Morgan. How did they miss all of this? So obviously the thing that's next, because again, Rhea keep kicking JD ass. So if there's one person that's getting their ass beat in this, it's JD McDonough by Rhea Ripley. And yeah, if it ain't on the season premiere of Raw, it's gonna be at the next PLE. This is my guarantee. as we come into that now, we got to the match. My guarantee is Rhea Ripley and Damien Priest, aka the Terror Twins, will absolutely be the tag team champions to close out the year. Like, because one, they're gonna win the belts, and who are they safely gonna put them against the rest of the way? Like, they're gonna have to lose this shit in like a fatal 4-way tag match, elimination tag match or something like that. But yeah, they definitely about to beat JD and Finn Balor for the tag titles. Season premiere of Raw or the PLE, whichever one comes closest first. Whenever it's booked for that event, that's when it will be. That's my guarantee for this week.
Yeah, I think that's bad blood. I think at Bad Blood, we're going to get a historic moment in WWE when she becomes a tag team champion. They gave them a name, fam.
Yeah. Yep.
You're not going to give them a name and not give them the belt in some type of capacity.
Exactly.
And you're right. She continues to whoop JD McDonough. He's getting pinned.
Yeah.
So there's that. The last match of the night, Gunther versus Randy Orton, and Gunther wins by technical submission, as they call it. He put him in the sleeper, and Randy Orton respond in time, so he beats him clean finally. Pause. And now Gunther is in his home, basically, or his home away from home. What's next, though? When you look at the Raw roster, who's the person up next to get slapped to Kingdom Come by Gunther?
Man, so since they did the Randy Orton thing, I think I'm not happy about this. I do want to say this. But I kind of feel Sami Zayn is next. I feel like Sami Zayn is next. I feel like Sami Zayn is next for this title shot because now, this is the guy that ended his Intercontinental title streak. This is also the guy that has only one of the two people to beat Gunther since he's been on the main roster. He also beat Braun Breaker, even though he's lost that title. But I think since it doesn't seem like they're gonna run back Damien versus Gunther at this moment, I think Sami Zayn will be next. It wouldn't have been my pick. But I will say I did think that Seth Rollins was going to happen sooner. But also I think I think Drew McIntyre is going to be one of his opponents to close out the year. But right now I think they're going to run back Gunther Sami Zayn for a different title. It doesn't really do much for the diversity and the changing of programming, but I can see that happening.
Tell you what I would do. And I tell you what I think is going to happen. First, I'm going to tell you what I think will happen. And I think you're right. Sami Zayn is next up for Gunther. He defeated the Intercontinental Championship. Now you can put a little bit of nervousness or worry. Like, hey, defeated you once this year. I could do it again. And challenge him at Bad Blood. What I would do is I would not do a Hell in a match for Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. I'll just make this a triple threat match with Gunther. That's what I would do.
Okay.
You'll get a situation where both of them are fighting, and then you go and you say, hey, fuck it. Both of you all versus Gunther, Bad Blood, World Heavyweight Championship. And when Gunther goes over on both of them, it makes Gunther more of a monster, just like when he went over Sheamus and Drew McIntyre before.
There you go. Yeah.
It would be interesting who takes the pin, but no, I want Gunther, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, triple threat world championship. It puts that belt up the way that it is not. I can tell you what I don't want. They better not put Bronson Reed up against Gunther. I don't want that shit.
Oh, yeah, no. Hey, for me right now, Bronson Reed is now responsible for making Braun Breaker a face.
That's what you said it, and you said he's going to destroy Braun Strowman. You said destroy Braun Strowman on Monday. Now, after that, he should go destroy Braun Breaker, make him a face. Boom.
Yep. And they're doing this Intercontinental tournament to a match thing. Yep. All signs point to Bronson Reed being the guy coming out of that to now be the heel that solidifies Braun Breaker as a face.
Interesting. How do you? This was Gunther's first defense of his title.
Yes.
Let's just say this. But the way he was put over was massive, in my opinion. I didn't realize it until they started to say it. But the majority of his time in the WWE, he's been a champ.
Yeah. Yep.
Hulk Hogan? I don't know who can say that.
Right.
That 75%, I think they said, of the that he has been in the WWE, he's been a champion. That's a nasty stat.
Yeah. Well over 700 days. Once they showed the 666, and then they said he's been over like 100 something, I was like, yo, that's damn the whole time you've been here. And then they said it. I was like, yeah. I was like, damn. He took that one early L, And that was it.
Because that's not even counting his run in NXT UK.
Right.
He was the champ there for like 500 plus days.
Right.
So when we look at this, between that reign and his world championship reign and his intercontinental championship reign, that's nasty work, y'all. That man don't know shit else but being a champion.
Hey, look, you gotta live the character. That is the ring and allow, all right? And he can't be the ring and allow, and he ain't had titles for a long time. Or consistently. Like, hey, listen, hey, look, hey, I love how you gotta live your gimmick now. You know what I'm saying?
We back to those days.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like now we back to live your gimmick. Oh, you the ring and around? All right, well, hey, go out here and get it out then. All right. You gotta hey, straight up. Like that's what I like it. I like it. Live your raps.
Like they said, Michael Cole said that we could look back at this years now, and Gunther might be in the same breath as Roman Reigns and the other greatest wrestlers of all time. Roman Reigns, John Cena, and the greatest wrestlers of all time. This is why. Here's my guarantee, y'all.
Here we go. Let's go.
Slick, y'all. The first thing that I thought of when they said that shit, John Cena versus Gunther at WrestleMania. You gotta mark that down.
Yeah.
If that is not the match going into what, WrestleMania 42?
42.
In Vegas, if it is John Cena versus Gunther for that world championship, I don't give a damn if Cena goes over or not. If it's not Cena versus Gunther at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas on what, April 20th, whatever that day is, they said, if it's not that, they fucked up something.
Yeah.
Somebody hurt.
I don't know if y'all checked it out, but after watching John Cena on Club Shay Shay, I kind of feel that John Cena, even though it sounded like he wanted to do that last title match thing, but it also sounded like, yo, let me tell you who I think the top 5 guys are, and let me put them over on my way out the door.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised that there's a couple matches that even if they are for titles or not, I think John Cena is about to pull a Bret Hart on his way out the door on some Cal Ripken-ish. But I think it's going to really set the landscape for how wrestling is about to move the next 5 years. So, yeah, I'm very curious. After his Club Shay Shay episode, I'm really curious about what this retirement for John Cena is going to look like.
I am too, but I already think it's penciled in. The way that they put Gunther over,
yeah,
during and after the show,
yeah,
you can't tell me that Gunther and John Cena is not on the collision course.
Yeah, shoot, you also can't tell me that Gunther ain't getting at least 750 days out of this world title. Playing, it ain't looking like he about to lose. Like, again, you gotta pay attention when Michael Cole started talking. You just gotta pay attention because he's saying something. He's saying something, and you better take heed to what he's saying too.
And the thing about that is when we look at the roster, who even gonna defeat Gunther?
Yeah.
When you look at the Raw roster right now, no draft.
Yeah, no draft.
You look at the Raw roster, the Raw person you can be like, is. And they told Jey Uso like, yo, we gonna chill. We ain't got a lot for you right now. Go ahead, rest up. You're clearly in the plans, fam. But go ahead and relax.
Yeah.
Go ahead, chill out, fam. Go take the kids to school. We'll call on you when we need you. So I ain't gonna be Gunther. No. No.
Yeah, no. I know it felt like that was gonna happen, but nah.
We ain't doing that. But you know, we'll see what's up. So man, we got NXT Takeover. No Mercy, excuse me. That's going on tonight. A number of things that's going on. Well, tonight as we recording today. So I know we'll be able to mention that, talk about that a little bit next week. We got Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry for the NXT Championship. Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker for the Women's Championship. Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo for the North American Championship. Kalani Jordan versus Wendy Chu for the NXT North American Women's Championship. We got Chase University versus Nathan Frazier and Axum for the Tag Team Championship. Wesley versus Zachary Wentz. I know you NXT like that, but I'll throw my predictions out there real quick. I have a feeling since Zachary Wentz just won the TNA X Division Championship that they might put that championship on the line. And that's when they're going to have Wesley defeat Zachary Wentz, and Wesley will be the the TNA X Division champion. That's probably going to be the first match. Hear me out here. This is why this is big. Chase University is going to win the tag team matches, and Nathan Frazier or Axum is going to turn on one another. I believe that Wendy Chu is going to defeat Kalani Jordan, Obafemi is going to defeat Tony D'Angelo. I can't wait till Obafemi get on the main roster, to the point where I kind of got a feeling that Xavier Woods is probably going to split away from Kofi. And just like Kofi got Odyssey, that might be Obafemi's lead to go into the main roster. That man is a monster. Roxanne Perez is going to win, but somebody is going to debut tonight. I think it's going to be, I hope I'm pronouncing shorty name right, but Gulia is going to debut tonight on NXT, because Jada Parker looked at somebody, said, I'll smack the hell out of you too. And I like Jada Parker. And my biggest prediction, I can't believe that I'm saying this, Cam. But tonight, for the first time, I think, in WWFE history, a championship of theirs will be won by somebody outside of the company.
Really?
My prediction is Joe Hendry will defeat Ethan Page for the NXT Championship. Wesley will win the X Division Championship, because they would say, let's put it on the line if you ain't scared. And Zach will say, I bet, bitch. And Wesley will win. And Joe Hendry will win the championship with Trick Williams as the special guest referee. Not turning Trick Williams heel, ladies and gentlemen. They're not doing that. Trick Williams is going to count to 3, and Joe Hendry will be the NXT champion. And he gonna bring that bitch right to goddamn TNA.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I need to catch up, because I only been seeing like matches here and there, or certain segments like on updates, like through like YouTube or something. I gotta get back on NXT.
Damn it!
This sounds interesting as hell.
I believe in Joe Hendry. That's my prediction, man. I believe in Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry will be the NXT champion.
Wow! All right. Hey, there it is. There it is.
The last time we gave him a 2-hour episode.
Man, it's been a minute, man. You know, hey, the least we can do for being away a little bit longer than expected, man. So, you know, we appreciate y'all checking us out and rocking with us this entire time. Guaranteed Tease is in. Guaranteed you should watch wrestling, because there's a lot of great wrestling going on. Even if you're not just watching the E, no matter what you're watching right now, you're probably seeing some good wrestling or flashes of greatness or flashes of good wrestling somewhere. So, man, that's awesome. And I think we're gonna roll up out of here, man. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna do that, man. I think we're gonna thank you guys.
Real quick. Shouts out to Bryan Danielson. Great match between him and Swerve Strickland, and you're right. The fans need to do something in America. But Bryan Danielson, he either won or he retired. He won. So he is now your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. The first time he's held that bitch since he's been there. He's avoided it, couldn't retiring. So the way he's gonna do it, which is basically once I lose, I'm out. So we'll see what happens there. He goes up against Jack Perry at the next pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
The Scapegoat. He's already got beat by the Scapegoat, Jack Perry, but we know he ain't losing to no goddamn Jack Perry, which is my other guarantee. Goddamn. I'm tired of this man all right now winning the championship. He is, I think at this point, he is now the longest or the most had the AEW championship the most.
Mm-hmm.
But Jon Moxley will turn heel and he will put his friend or his former friend to pasture. I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know when that retirement looks like. But yes, Jon Moxley is going to be the person that retires our man Bryan Danielson. At the same time, though, if I read some shit correctly, this character that Jon Moxley is doing is supposed to be from a movie that Russell Crowe did back in the early 90s where he was a white supremacist. I don't know how true that is, but
shit.
But they wilding if that's the case. We wilding.
Yeah. Gotta be careful. Hey, listen, again. Again, I say, be careful. Hey, look, we be making a lot of white people famous. we be making a lot of white people famous.
I'm just saying, take care, you know?
Yeah, hey. No, hey, look, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you say things like that because, you know, as we, wrestlers try to reinvent and get new characters, and they try to be so anti-WWE because that's what this really be about. That's a lot of Moxley's ammunition. Oh, I'm so anti-WWE. So, yeah, a definite racist character would definitely be anti-WWE. It'd be also anti-TKO Endeavor too, guys. So
yeah,
keep that in mind. You know, hey, you know, watch who you cheer for. But again, hey man, it's still sports entertainment, still wrestling, still pro wrestling. So we try to use our best discernment when we are digesting all of this content. But until we have more information, Mr. Moxley and the rest of you, we're just gonna say thank you. Thank you for tuning into the show this week. All right. We appreciate you sticking around for this 2-hour episode. All of you join the streams, your likes, your comments, your updates, your shares, your questions, your rumor and innuendo, your funny things like saying that AJ Lee needs to be Claymored by Drew McIntyre. All of it is important. It's funny. It's humorous. It's entertaining. It is what makes the FBC community what it is. And for your contribution to it, we sincerely thank you. We appreciate you. And we want to let you know, as always, if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. It's the Pick and the VP DOC, and we are out. Fuck Johnny Wrestling.
And with that, forget everybody who's trying to put a Samoan in the line. But tell y'all again, let it go. Everybody that's Samoan ain't got to be in the bloodline. Just like everybody that's black didn't need to be in the hurt business. Let's stop it. Increase the peace.
Immediately.